All right, so here we go, man. Here we go. You have to know when the woman you're with doesn't want you. You have to know when the woman you're with doesn't want you, doesn't respect you, doesn't like you, doesn't support you, doesn't have your back, doesn't appreciate you. But that's only half the battle. You know how they always say knowing is half battle? Knowing is only half the battle. The rest of it is you got to react. You got to respond. You got to do what's necessary. And you got to leave that woman, man. It should never get this far. Well, you put yourself on Front Street for a woman. Hey, man, what right does a woman have to come out after you do something in her defense and detach herself from it and say, well, he shouldn't have did that. I think he was wrong. Even though we know that man went up there because at that woman's bequest. We know that. So let's talk about something right quick. See, there were a bunch of guys saying, well, they can't shut Will down and Will ain't going to lose nothing. And well, I would defend my wife too. Well, let me tell you what defending their wife has got him. There's an article in New York Post. Says, forget slaps. The Academy is pulling no punches. Discussion on how to discipline actor Will Smith following the slapping incident that occurred at the Oscars on March 27th has been moved up. They're trying to hurry up and do it, according to an announcement made by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Academy President David Rubin shared in a letter to the Academy members on Wednesday that the previously scheduled meeting on April 18th has been moved up to April 8th. The April 18th date was set in accordance with California law and our standards of conduct because our agenda included possible suspension or expulsion of Mr. Smith from membership. We were required to provide Mr. Smith notice 15 days prior to the board meeting at which such action might be taken, and also give him the opportunity to provide the board a written statement no less than 5 days prior to that meeting. Smith resigned from the Academy earlier this month over the incident during the live telecast. Despite the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air actor taking his leave from the organization, the latter could still discipline him for slapping Chris Rock on stage in front of the world. And the disciplinary action could make Smith ineligible for future awards consideration, and the Academy could bar him from attending next year's telecast. The father of three won an Oscar for Best Actor at this year's ceremony for his role in The Father of Tennis Pros Venus and Serena Williams and King Richard. In his resignation announcement, Smith said he was heartbroken over his actions. He didn't look heartbroken when he walked off the stage. Now, I know why he might be heartbroken now, because after he did all that, he didn't get the woman's approval like he thought he should. I quote, I have directly responded to Academy disciplinary hearing notice, and I will fully accept any and all consequences for my conduct. My actions at the 94th Academy Awards presentation were shocking, painful, and inexcusable. The list of those I have hurt is long and includes Chris, his family, and many of my dear friends and loved ones, all those in attendance and global audiences at home. Not once did he say how much he's hurt himself, when right now he is the one taking all the brunt of the fallout. I betrayed the trust of the Academy. Sony and Netflix have also put several of the Switch Singers projects on pause. Sony is halting Bad Boys 4, while Netflix has found a new director for Fast and Loose. Smith's Slave Drum Emancipation for Apple TV has already been completed, but they, as of yet, have not agreed to a date to air it. So, you know, the man is losing a whole lot, man, dealing with this foolishness, man. He's losing a whole lot. And the one thing that a woman can do when she knows she's living off this man money, know everything that she got going on is based on this man hustle, based on this man grind, what she need to do is get somewhere and sit down and shut up. You talk about this with the man behind closed door, y'all get in the car. And you say, you ain't have to do that. I ain't tell you to do that. The woman that came out and said, hey, man, I'm not a damsel in distress. I didn't need him to do nothing. Oh, yeah? Well, how come he didn't do nothing until you looked at him crazy? Here's the problem. This still isn't Jada's fault. Let's be honest. This still isn't Jada's fault. She's being what Will allows her to be. If your woman is a Jezebel, it's because you let her be. If your woman is wild and free, it's because you let her be. If your woman is disrespectful, it's because you let her be. If your woman is all over the place, man, doing the things that this woman does, man, saying the things she does and crying over another man while she's reading this poem and telling your daughter that, oh, I wish Pac was here. If your woman is doing that, it's because you let her do it. You can't stop a woman from doing that, but you can stop her from doing it to you. And that's where we're going today with this entire topic. We're going to talk about the things that you as a man should never take You never put yourself in a position to take this type of disrespect from a woman, man. You never do it. The reality of the scenario is it's not your job to lead a woman. Let me tell y'all something. It's your job to follow God. It's that woman's responsibility to follow you. It's not your job to go out here and make it your task to lead a woman. You got to lead yourself. You got to lead your son. You ain't got to worry about that woman. What happened when Lot came out of Sodom and Gomorrah? He was leading his woman. What she did? She turned around and turned into a pillar of salt. You can't worry yourself about leading a woman. It's not your responsibility to lead a woman. It's your responsibility to be the man you're supposed to be. And it's that woman's responsibility to save herself. It ain't going to bother you if she don't follow you. It's going to bother you if you follow her. But if she don't follow you, that's her loss. I'm not going to force no woman to follow me. And that's what Will trying to do. That's what he was trying to do in the beginning. Now he's trying to follow her in a satisfactory way so she'll keep him. He's trying to be kept. The woman wanted to go. He trying to be kept. When you see a man acting like this, he trying to be kept, man. And that's a tough situation to be in. That's a tough situation to be in, man. See, here's the thing, man. You got to know when a woman is using you as a subpar replacement for the man she really wants. You got to know that. And Will knows that. But here's the tough part for men. You know something isn't going the way you're supposed, that you want it to go. You know something isn't beneficial to you, but you ain't got the intestinal fortitude, the gall. You ain't got the bizzles to rectify the situation by getting yourself out of it. Y'all make all kind of excuses. Well, it's cheaper to keep her. I'm going to lose all my money. And you ain't going to lose all your money. You're going to lose half your money. Ain't no man never lost all his money in no divorce. Men don't value their peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? Peace of mind is a valuable tool. It's a valuable commodity. It's something, man, you need to risk your life to keep your peace of mind, man. Now, see, we're going to look at this. Now, I normally don't address people who don't super chat in the chat unless you're Green Label Gang. But somebody said that book is killing our people. Nuh-uh. Doing everything but following that book is killing our people. I'm going to leave it right there. Y'all boys ain't living by that book. You don't know nobody to live by it. I ain't talking about the people at church. I'm talking about the people that showed enough live by it. You know what? I know what I'm going to have to do right here, man. I know I ain't supposed to be in the chat, man, but you know what? Here's what we're going to do right here. Didn't think about it. I'm glad you reminded me to do it. All right, we back. All right, so here we go, man. Here we go. Here's what you got to understand, man. You never let a woman claim exclusive rights to you. When you let a woman claim exclusive rights to you, you become her possession. I don't let no woman call me her man, her husband, her this, unless she understands that that doesn't mean that she owns me and I belong to her. She has to acknowledge verbally that she knows that that doesn't mean that I'm hers. Don't put no label on me. Don't call me yo nothing. If your mind is going to wrap around the concept that that gives you some type of ownership or some type of rights to me, don't do it. Don't put yourself in that position because it's never going to be that way. It's never going to be that way. So let me tell you something, man. There's two kind of men out here. There's the kind of man who understands that if a woman doesn't value you, then she's not for you. And you just simply leave her alone. That's one kind of man. That's kind of men we over here in the alpha sphere. If a woman doesn't value you, it don't matter if she like you. It don't matter if she profess her love for you. None of that matters. Value equals respect. If a woman doesn't value you, she doesn't respect you because she has to respect your value in order to truly respect you for who you are. So if a woman doesn't respect you, then she doesn't value you. Those two things are interchangeable. You must leave that woman alone. But then there's another kind of man who interacts with that same woman who doesn't value him. And he says, I'm gonna make you value me. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make you value me. You're gonna value me. I'm gonna jump through hoops. I'm gonna jump through. Let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna go put my gasoline drawers on and I'm gonna jump through some flaming hoops. Don't care if I burn my bootay. Don't care if I burn my bizzles. I'm gonna make you appreciate me. I'm gonna make you value me. I'm gonna prove my value to you. There are no other types of men. Those are the two types of men that deal with women. And Will Smith is the latter. He's a man who believes that he should be jumping through hoops to prove himself to a woman. And this has cost him his career, man. This has cost him his career. You got to understand, it don't matter how big you are as an actor. The sponsors are the ones who pay the bills. The people who buy ads during the Super Bowl pay the bills. The people who buy ads during these award shows pay the bills. Those commercials pay the bills. Actors don't pay the bills. The movies are already done. This is an event for the people who buy ads. This is an event for the Budweisers of the world. This is an event for the Kias of the world, for the Toyotas and Hondas of the world. This who that's for. This is not for the actors and actresses, man. It's just a day for them to sit down and get their accolades for what they've already done. But don't you ever believe that as a man, you can go out here and do whatever you want to do if you ain't at the top rung of the ladder. You're going to get shut down, dog. Here's another thing. You either respect a woman's opinion on everything or ignore her opinion on everything. On two types of men in the world. You either respect her opinion on everything or ignore her opinion on everything. When you respect her opinion on everything, you end up laughing at a joke. Looking at her, she don't think it's funny. You go up there and slap a man in front of the world, man, and ruin your career. When you value her opinion. You thought the joke was funny. So what if she didn't? So what if she didn't? And there's a whole bunch of suckers out here telling me, man, I did the same thing. I would defend my wife too. That man ain't no sucker because he defended his wife. That man is a sucker because that woman, he still treats her like his wife. That's why he's a sucker. No, you're not a sucker to defend your wife when you got a wife. I'm talking about a wife who behaves like a wife who plays the role of a wife who takes on the responsibility of a wife, not just a wife on paper, not just because she threw your last name on the end of her maiden name. If you're a man out here with a wife with a hyphenated name, bro, you ain't got no wife. You the wife, she the husband. Any of you, I'm telling you the truth. I don't care what her reason is. If you have agreed that a woman can just throw your name on the end of the name she already had, boy, you ain't got no wife. You got a co-husband. But you don't have the intestinal fortitude to stand up for nothing. See, when you think about the fact that this woman waits until this man starts losing things and then comes out against him, think about your woman verbally relaying that she's against you. Verbally relaying, man, I'll drop a woman in a minute. Boy, a woman go against me for another man or anybody. If a woman go against me for any reason, she is done. She might as well hang it up. It ain't no coming back from it. It ain't nothing she could say, nothing she could do. As a matter of fact, she ain't gonna never talk to me no more after that. Once you declare, she has declared herself this man's enemy in front of the world. See, we already knew by the way she was acting, but now she has declared it. She has declared to the world that I do not have this man's back. And you know what? People still out there saying, man, Will Smith did the right thing. Well, whatever you got to go through to protect your wife. And let me tell you something, boy. If you put your woman before your money, man, you're a damn fool. If you put your woman before your money, you are a fool, man. You got to be crazy. Because when the woman gone, you still going to need the money to live your life. Never put your woman before your money, man. Never risk your money for your woman. Never put your money on the line, man, to please your woman. What woman wants you to risk your money? As much as women like the things that money can buy, do you know how much a woman has to detest your very existence? To be a cohort in something you do to lose your money? She gonna be a cohort in something you do, man, to lose your ties to the money. Come on, man. We know Bad Boy 4 was gonna be big. We know it. Whenever you throw Martin and Will together, we know it's gonna be big. They might be able to run 7 or 8 of them. They can run that thing like Fast and Furious if they want to, because we know when they get together, it's gonna be a great movie. Especially if they team them up with some younger guys who can kind of, who they can kind of mentor into those detectives. Man, come on, bro. That was gonna be a money cow for that boy. That woman don't care. Let me tell you something, brothers. This is a thin line between a woman being indifferent and a woman actively trying to ruin you. When a woman is actively trying to ruin you, I don't care what you got to lose. Because here's the thing. Whatever you lose is going to be less than you would lose if you stay with her. Because if you stay with her, you're going to lose everything, including whatever little sanity you got left. That's just the reality of it, man. So you got to understand this, man. You're either the man a woman wants to marry for security, or the man she wants to marry because she can't get enough of you. Never be the man a woman marries just for security. Never do that. Of course, you get security for yourself in your own life. You build your own life to get your security, but never be the man that a woman gets with just for security. She'll never respect you. She'll never have no real interest in you. She'll never have no sexual attraction to you. The woman that I already said in the past, man, that Will can't do it for. That Will don't do it for. But you know why Will don't do it for? Because I guarantee you Will too busy trying to please her. But let me tell you something. The last thing on my mind is pleasing a woman in any kind of way. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the elements of masculinity and manhood, leadership, guidance to her life that she ain't never had before. That's my part. Now her role is to please me for that. Her role is to please me for the things I bring to her life. How I'm going to bring those things to her life and please her too. Man, she balling if I do that. She the ballerifics. If I'm going to bring all the things I bring to the table, pay the cost to be the boss and please her, why would I do that? How is that going to benefit me? How is that going to benefit me, man? Don't worry, I'll wait. You can take the rest of this show and tell me how that's going to benefit me. And you won't come up with one single way that it's going to benefit me. You know why? Because it's not. And it makes no sense for any man to be in a situation like that. See, here's the thing. When a woman disrespects you like this, she either disrespects you willingly and intentionally, or she just gets so caught up in her emotions, literally anything can come out of her mouth. But that's temporary. That's every blue moon. Like if you do something to trigger a woman emotionally and you just send her over the top emotionally, then sometimes you have to do that. Every blue moon, maybe once or twice a year, then you got to do that. You got to do that. So you can rein her back in and reel her back in, man, and soothe her and remind her that you're her comforter. No matter what she goes through, she needs to be open and honest with you because you're the one that can help her through anything. You can get her through anything. You can coach her through anything. You can coerce her through anything. So you have to do that from time to time. But that's temporary. This woman does this willingly and intentionally because it's a non-stop process of disrespect. Tell me when you've ever seen her respect this man. You got to understand, brothers, that you cannot be in a situation with a woman who does not respect you. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If your woman don't respect you, your homies don't respect you either. If your woman don't respect you, your homies don't respect you either. And that's the reality of the scenario, man. Got a couple super chats here, man. Let me catch them up, man, before they get away from me, homies. I ain't too many. Rational Logic. Appreciate the 5 bones, man. T.I. punked out bad, too. Yeah, we ain't going to address that on this show, bro. I had to check that out. Appreciate the 5 bones, though. Stan Howard, appreciate the dime. The person that leads you down the wrong path always says, I didn't put a gun in your head. Exactly. Always say, I didn't make you do it. I ain't make you do it. Listen, boy, I can hear Jada's voice telling them that. I ain't make you do that. I ain't tell you to do that. Well, you looked at me like I need to do something, but did I tell you to do it? No, but Jada, you know what that look mean? No, that a look can mean anything. I wasn't even looking at you. I was looking over there. I was looking backstage because somebody was looking back there. They were laughing too hard. And she had made up something and told them, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean for you to go do that. That's what she told him. I can guarantee you she told him that, man. Rayshard Smith, appreciate the 5 bone. Richard Lawson been sipping for 10 since the 80s. You did content on Patreon. She still has Matthew's last name. Man, let me tell you something. That's how it is, man. That's how it is. King Louis, appreciate the dime. Men are too quick to be self-sacrificing when it comes to women. We give ourselves way too easily. Keep preaching BOA. And we do, man. Exactly. That's exactly what happens. Hologram, welcome to the family. Welcome to the Green Label Gang. King Chef, shalom. Appreciate you, man. 5 bones. Please bless up BOA and brethren. Glad I received this at an early age. Yeah, man. Best time to receive it. It's a blessing to receive this at an early age. King Abraham, my brother, salute. Appreciate the dub. All right, let's dive back into this thing, man. So, the reality of the scenario is this, man. A lot of times, guys be in the situations where you don't understand. When you chase a woman, you never get the fullness of what that woman has to offer. You never get the fullness of what that woman has to offer. You either going to be the man she chases or you're going to be the man who chases her. And I promise you, when you chase a woman, you never get the same result as the man she chases. A woman goes after that man. A woman shows attraction, confirmation to that man. A woman tries to get that man's attention. Why? Because she has a strong desire for that man. And it's even deeper than her wanting him. She wants him to want her. So when a woman is all on you, man, and she wants you to want her in that situation, man, she'll do about anything, man. She gonna act totally different. Sometimes she might say, I ain't nobody never had me like this, where I'm used to just saying what I want to say and blah, blah, blah. Because she can't believe the things that she's compromising that she's never had to compromise before. And you ain't even got to say it. All you got to do is check her about things. The problem with most of you men, you ain't gonna check a woman about that because you're too concerned about losing a woman. But here's the thing. How are you concerned about losing a woman you ain't got yet? I be hearing guys talking about losing a woman and they ain't never even met the woman in person. Ain't even spent the night with the woman. The woman ain't even came to the crib yet. How you gonna lose a woman and you ain't got nothing with her? Help me understand that. You can't lose a woman. You can lose the benefits that a woman bring to your life. And half y'all ain't getting no benefits from the woman. Man, Will ain't getting no benefits from Jada. He was a made man. He could have had babies with anybody. She ain't do him no favor. He did her a favor, making her the mother of his children. If I make a woman the mother of my child, man, I'm doing her a favor. She ain't doing me no favor. I got options to have children. I don't have to have them with her. So when you think about it, man, you got to keep in mind, yeah, she got options too. But let's look around and look at all these women with children by men that wish they didn't have them by. The reality of the scenario is you may got to stop undervaluing yourself so much. Anytime you think the woman is the prize, boy, you ain't elevated her value. You diminish your own value. Stop diminishing your own value, man, just to try to impress a woman. She ain't gonna never respect you for it. Because there's a man that she knows who doesn't diminish his value. There's a man your woman get nervous around if that man ain't you. I say again, there's a man your woman get nervous around if that man isn't you. That's just the reality of it, man. And the thing is, man, you got these guys getting with these women for a track. There's no way Will really deep down wanted this woman once he realized that she wanted another man. When he realized that her type was Pac. When he realized that her type was Pac. He didn't want her after that. But it was a competition. He didn't want to feel like he lost her to Pac. So even after Pac died, this dude been battling a dead man over this woman for years. He's still battling that same man who we haven't seen in years. People say he's still alive, but it don't matter if he's still alive. Don't nobody see his ass. Father, we know he dead. He ain't showed up nowhere. You know, you got people say, oh, I saw Pac over there in Cuba. I'm talking about showed up. Far as we concerned, he ain't here. If he is, he ain't making no impact that we can see. So we ain't worried about that. I'm talking about this guy, as far as he knows, Pac is dead and he been battling with this dude over this woman. How you cannot battle with a man over a woman when she wants that man? There is no battle. You lost when you start. If your woman want me and you marry her, don't you understand that if I'm that type of man, I ain't gonna never stop hitting your woman, man. I ain't gonna never stop touching her up, ever. If I'm that type of guy, if I'm the type of man who believes that you marry my woman, because if the woman want me and you marry her anyway, it's kind of like this. I told you I had a homie man who but now granted, he was with the chick first. He was with the chick. She met this dude. My homie wasn't gonna marry her at that particular time, but my homie was trying to get his money up. You know what I'm saying? He was situated, but not situated enough to slow down the way you got to slow down when you take on a family. You got to slow down when you take on a family, man. So he was just trying to grind some more, trying to hit this goal. Hey, man, she was impatient. She went out. She married this dude, but the night before the wedding, she was with the homie. End up, she left that dude, end up marrying the homie anyway, which we ain't going to get into details of that. But once a woman has you, once you have a woman, the next man is out of luck. And we see now that we understand that if the man is alive, but we see now with Pac, even if the man is dead, if that man has his ties to your woman, if he got soul ties to your woman, man, boy, you better leave that woman alone. And for me, that's why I don't deal with single moms. Like, I'm not finna go. Now, I ain't sitting tell you I ain't cutting no single mom. I'll be lying to you. But as far as me putting a single mom in the wifey position, I'm just not going to do it, because the chances are that she has soul ties to that man. I don't even ask her if she got soul. I don't ask women stuff like that, man. I just go with my knowledge. Let's say out of 10 women, if I say all women with a child got soul tied to their baby daddy, what if 10 women out of 10 single women, what if 2 of them ain't got soul tied to their baby daddy? I'll take that loss of those 2 because I got the other 8 right. I'm not expecting to have a perfect record, but about 80% win percentage is top notch to me. So I'm just going to go with what I know. I'm not going to try to guess. I'm not going to try to figure out if she's the one who might not have soul ties, or maybe it's her, or maybe it's little shorter over there, or maybe the one with the blonde hair, or maybe it's her over there with the big wide behind. Maybe I ain't going to try to figure it out. I'm just going to put all of them in the same box. She got soul tied to that nigga. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. Because I ain't got time to figure that out. Boy, you know how long you got to take to figure out which one out of these 50 is the one? I ain't got time for that. Let's just eliminate them all, put them over there. Are they bad women? No, they're just not women that I'm going to put in that position because of the possibility. I believe in possibilities, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't grow and make yourself into nothing meaningful in life if you don't believe in possibilities. I believe in possibilities, and I believe the possibility is that 9 times out of 10, she got soul tied to that man. But what we found out with Pac is the woman ain't got to have no children with the man that has soul tied to him. All that woman has to do is have a spiritual connection with that man. I met a woman, man. She acted like she was a good girl, man. I mean, but you know, she has spiritual soul ties to the first man who taught her how she's supposed to live spiritually. And I wasn't finna deal with that. You know what I'm saying? I had some fun with her, but you know, when it got to the point, man, so where are we going? Like, shout, I'm beyond with you. We ain't going nowhere. You got soul tied to that man. Well, I don't have soul tied to that man. Okay, I think you do. Well, you're wrong. Okay, let me fall on my sword then. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm gonna fall on my sword with this one. You also, you just difficult to make it. Okay, I am difficult, very difficult. If you think you finna convince me otherwise on this, I am too difficult for you to do. Don't waste your time. No, and that was just the end of it. For me, I like to nip things in the bud as quickly as possible. That's why I tell you, man, if you're in a situation like Will, or a situation like this, or a situation that's unpleasant to you, man, you got to get out of it. What you prolonging the situation for? Will could have been ended this. It could have been ended this. The perfect time to end this would have been right with the August Alsina thing. And to mention him, that fool just put out a song where he talking about the entanglement again. And he about to write a tell-all book. I mean, when does it stop for a man who lets a woman disrespect him publicly like this? It wouldn't have been no big deal if Will had cut her loose. I don't care what nobody say. You can say they had an open relationship, but if her stuff hit the fan like that publicly, it's done. I bet she ain't got no written agreement on no open relationship. I bet she ain't got no written agreement. If she ain't got no written agreement, man, I'm finna go to court. I want a divorce. This woman is an infidel. She's a public infidel. I can't do that with her. She's a public infidel. The world knows about her infidelity. I'm embarrassed. We have irreconcilable differences. We can't get past this. I'm embarrassed to go out into the world. She has ruined my ability to do my job because the people at the job point it out. They make jokes about it. They talk bad about me. Look at what's going on the internet. Why I have my lawyer pull up everything? I'll just search Will Smith and I pull up every single story. I got a 2-3 pieces of content that I go in. Listen, I will go in there and vouch for Will. Yeah, man, this was bad. I couldn't wait to talk about it because I had to veer other men away from a woman like this. I'll go in there and have Will back on this, but he need to lead this broad, man. You cannot stay with a woman who doesn't appreciate you. You cannot. You'd be a fool to. See, here's what men don't understand. Some men, many men, don't stick to the manhood code when it comes to dealing with women. So let's say you're a man who's discussing a woman's current love interest with her on some dirty macking type of stuff. So let's say if you got a woman and I'm talking to her about you and she telling me, well, he does this and you know, he don't respect my opinion. And you know, when I talk to him, he just tells me to be quiet. And then I'm sitting over here like, yeah. See, he don't respect you, baby girl. He gotta let you talk. You know, you're a human too. You're a person too. Sounding to me like he's what do they call it? That sounds like toxic masculinity to me. So, but dudes do that. Dudes do that. And you can tell when they do it because your woman will come back to you, man, and she'll be just have a new whole idea about something. That sounds like toxic masculinity. I don't even tell her I know she's been talking to a dude because you could tell the way a dude would frame it. You could tell dirty macking language when you hear it. I don't even press it. I'm like, okay, well, whoever told you that, you should well, just go and leave. Just go and leave and go spend some time with that person. Matter of fact, go spend about a week with that person. I need some space for about a week. And of course, woman try to be tough. Okay. Oh, you need space? I'll give you space. Okay, I know you're gonna give me space. I'm about to put you on ice for a week. You ain't gonna have no choice. If you think you finna talk to me tomorrow, If you think you finna talk to me the next day, Nope. My ice is 7 days minimum. My ice, it takes 7 days for that hot headedness, for that hot bodiness, for that hot pocketiness to cool off on the woman. 7 days on ice. That's the best you're gonna get out of me. Because the reality of the scenario is this, man. When guys don't honor the manhood code, and see, the manhood code ain't got nothing to do with no game, it ain't got nothing to do with getting no women, it ain't got nothing to do with that. You got to be a man before you have a woman. You know, I be talking to guys, man, young guys, man, who still virgins, man, young guys in their early 20s, man, you know, and they be, you know, early 20s, sometimes mid 20s. And they be, you know, they act like, man, they have been convinced that they can't be a man until they be intimate with a woman. I be like, bro, you get taught to be a man from the time you're a kid. I advise all you men to, while you spending all this time online looking at this dumb stuff, I advise you to start looking into patriarchal societies, looking at some of these African cultures, looking at some of these Asian cultures, looking at some of these Hispanic cultures, look at some of these cultures, man, and see how they raise boys. Look at them and see the time that a boy start becoming a man. Like, you become a man when men teach you how to be a man. Just if you ain't never been taught how to be a man by a man, going to be with women ain't gonna make you a man. It's not. I got a few things I'm gonna talk about down at the CME conference, man. I'm gonna open up some cans of worms, man, because you know, the reality of the scenario is men are putting too much stock in the value of women when it comes to what you can be as a man. Men are acting like you can't be a man without a woman, like a woman is the quantifier that determines if you're a man or not. It's just not. It's just not, man. And here's the thing, man. Being a woman's second choice is a no-go for a real man. I'm not going to be a woman's second choice, bro. That's why if I meet a woman, man, she has to have been out of any relationship at least for a year. And I ain't trying to gauge her body and see what she be doing with her body, but her last serious relationship needs to be at least a year old. If it's not, I'm not dealing with her. I'm not dealing with no woman, man, who been in a serious relationship within the past year. It's going to have to be at least 366 days old, man. At least. That's on the low end. I prefer about 18 months, but at least 366 days, man, because I'm not finna be a woman's second choice. Here's the thing about being a woman's second choice. Just because a woman ain't with a man no more, like people be saying, man, Future, Sierra left Future a long time ago. That don't mean that Russell was still her second choice. She was engaged once before, which means she wanted a man to make her his wife. That man didn't want to make her his wife. That man understood, no, I am not finna settle down and be on that particular thing when I can just live a single man's life. Why would I do that? That was her first choice. If a woman can tell me she's been engaged before, man, I'm not finna put no woman in that position in my life because you're automatically her second choice. There is no time limit on being a woman's second choice. It's not like, well, it's been a year, so you can't be her second choice because the whole choice thing is run out. No, homie. No, it ain't gonna happen like that. It ain't gonna happen like that. Now, when it comes to business, I might, but when it comes to like a woman, no. I'm gonna be honest with you, SJ3, man. I like groupies too. All a groupie is a woman, man, that think you the joint. A groupie is just a woman who think you the joint and she'll do anything to spend some time with you. I like groupies too. I can't even lie to you. I prefer groupies. You know what I'm saying? Once you get yourself some groupies, you don't call the pros no more when you get you some groupies. Why? Once you experience the thrill of being with a woman who will do anything to spend some time with you, bro, that's the thrill of the chase. It ain't no thrill of the chase. It's of the chase. Like, what's the purpose? What's the purpose in chasing some man when you can have the thrill of one man who is willing to do anything to be with you? Anything. Put a one in the chat if you had at least one woman who was willing to do anything to be with you. Anything. There's nothing more arousing than a woman who would do anything to be with you, man. There's nothing more arousing than a woman who cannot have two conversations, or not even two conversations, can't even go, 2 minutes into a conversation without being aroused just because she's hearing your voice. There's nothing like it. Once you have that, you can never cold approach again, because that is, man, listen, bro, that is king stuff. That is king life. You understand what I'm saying? He's the king. I'll do anything to be with a king. That's king talk, man. That's full all on submission, homie. That's full on submission. And once you get that, once you experience that, man, I'm not finna chase no woman. I'm not finna cold approach no woman. I'm not even finna say nothing to no woman who don't show me no attraction confirmation. I'm spoiled. Once you get that, because you can't get no better value from a woman than that. There's no better value you can get from a woman than that. Got a couple super chats here, man. Let's take a dive on this thing, man. See what we got up here. Not too many. Gordon Sanders, appreciate the dimes. Shaking my head. She throwing stones high in her hand. This type of behavior has been driving black men crazy for decades. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. It's been going on for a long time, man. It's not there's something to start now, like you said. Pesha Boom, appreciate the dime. All praise to the Most High, grateful for provisions. God blesses us with for following His word and principles. Makes this life beautiful and full of joy for ourselves and our loved ones. Salute. Well said, Pesha. Well said. I couldn't agree more, man. I could not agree with you more. Chosen One Music, appreciate the 5 bones, man. Getting gas. Someone says that BOA. I said all the way. Salute, big bro. You're live out here in Cali. Salute to you, bro. Salute. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. I got some, man, coming up for y'all, man. It's gonna be phenomenal, man. Just trying to pull it together, boy. It's gonna be phenomenal. CJ, welcome to the Green Label Gang. Welcome to the Alpha family, man. Chester Thomas, appreciate the 5 bone. Thank you for the info, Dr. BOA. Your channel is helping me doing low points in life. Keep it up. I'm on it, bro. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. It's a blessing, man, to be used by the Most High, man, in this way. Pesci, appreciate the 2 bone. She comes moist and ready. Ready. I'm talking about come through the door ready, boy. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like her coming through the door ready, man. Cameron Pritchard, appreciate the 2 bone. Got 3 of them like that right now, BOA. I'm telling you, man, it's rough out here. Appreciate you again for 2 bones, man. It's like that, man. I'm telling you, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? I call that superstar status, man. So another thing I tell you is this, man. Here's the thing. Here's what really happens. When a woman supports two different sides who are at odds, it's a sucker life. You're living a sucker life. And that's in real life or online. Like if you have a woman supporting two different sides and you're dealing with her, if a woman's supporting two different sides and I'm on them side, she ain't supporting me. She's just doing it in principle, not because she's attached to me or aligned with me. And right now, what Jada's doing, now watch, she gonna come out, man, and say something on Will's behalf. I guarantee you she's gonna come out and say something on Will's behalf. Why? Because that's just, she gonna get the pressure. She gonna get the kickback, the pushback from being online. She gonna get that pushback. And she's gonna realize that whatever it is she thinks she's doing, it can't be done. She's gonna have to fall back and play the wife role the way she should. And that's just the reality of it, man. You know, the reality, what we really have to think about is this, man. There is no way that a man who's being disrespected like this doesn't know he's being disrespected like this. There is no way. It's evident to him just as it's evident to us. He knows the level of disrespect he's dealing with. But it's not that a woman disrespects you, because you can't control what a woman does. You can only control how you respond to it. So the problem is how he's responding to it. He's responding to it as if this is just a part of his life, just how his life goes. And you simply can't do it. You can't do it, man. You put yourself in a position that you just can't win. And it's just not smart as a man to put yourself in a position you can't win in. It just doesn't make sense. And here's the problem, man. Here's the problem. Too much emotionality going on with modern men. Men were created to be emotional. God did not put you here to be emotional. That's not your job. When you're emotional, it kills your logical reality. Being emotional kills your ability to logically perceive your environment. You can't. You feel it. You feel your environment. And feelings can be manipulated. Someone who hates you can make they think they love you. Someone who's trying to destroy your progress can make you think they're your biggest supporter. You just don't know when it comes to emotion. You have to avoid being caught up in that emotional state of mind and that emotional existence, because it's going to ruin you. And if you spend so much time away from your logical reality, boy, it is the most difficult thing in the world to become a logical thinking man again. When you become a feeling man, feelings, nothing more than feelings. When you become a feelings man, you almost can't go back to being a logical man. And those feelings pull you away from your spirit, man. Pull you away from your connection to the Most High. So your ability to think logically, your ability to control yourself, your ability to withstand the onslaught of verbal attacks and other things that may come your way, man. Do you understand this, man? We're in a world now where one word to a man can make him so emotional, can punk him out so bad and make him so emotional that he'll smoke somebody over a word. Like these guys literally will smoke somebody over a word. That's not gangster. That's feminine. Whenever you respond to the first emotion that you have, man, if your first response is emotional, man, you deserve whatever comes your way. You deserve the fallout of being such an emotional being. See, what Will is experiencing right now is what I like to call this continuing to talk about he needs to love, 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 love. Basically, what he's saying is he needs to love his woman more. He's not loving her enough. He needs to keep loving her. And when he's saying that, it's just a defense mechanism against the disappointment of the failed fantasy of being happily married to Jada. He's experiencing the failed fantasy syndrome of being happily married to Jada. He thought that he was going to be happily married with the kids in the house with the white picket fence. Or should I say the 600-acre ranch? He thought he was going to have that. He thought he was going to be able to build this world and have this woman in it. And this woman admitted that she was in that world for a minute, but she faked it until she made it. And now she don't want to be in that fake world no more. So what we see is not who she became. What we see is the true her being let out of his shell. She finally cracked through that shell, and now she's just showcasing the reality of who she is. And who she is a woman who does not love this man. That's all it is. See, any immediate emotional response from a man is guaranteed a negative consequence. At worst. At worst. And the effect of making you a non-factor at best. See, what Will did was an immediate emotional response. But it wasn't his emotional response. It was his response to his wife's emotion. So he ran up there and did that. Look at the fallout of it. Look at the fallout of it. And it was immediate because he was ha ha ha. Next thing you know, he on stage putting hands on the man. It was an immediate emotional response. And here's the emotional response that it was. It was fear. It was fear. He laughed, looked at that woman with that look on her face. It was fear. He was afraid. He was afraid that one of those skeletons in the closet was going to come out. He was afraid that something that he didn't want the world to know was going to be released to the world. He was afraid of something that woman was going to do to him. So he did what he had to do, or what he thought he had to do. But here's what happens. I want y'all to think about this. Think about when you were younger. Some of y'all still young, but think about when you do something wrong, when you're going to do something, and you hear this. I mean, it's so much fun. You about to go do it. You know you ain't got no business doing. You know what the consequence could be, and you go do it. Boy, you in there, man. And then his voice, and then his what's called. Say you drunk. Say you have too much to drink, and you go do something you ain't got no business doing, and you wake up the next day in jail. Guess what's gone? That liquid courage, that evil liquid courage that made you do it, it's gone. Them voices that were telling you it's the fun thing to do, they gone. Them homies who was coercing you into doing it, they gone. They over there in the interrogation room right now, all deciding that since you, the one that ain't a part of their group, you just moved there, you weren't with them from the time they was in the sandbox, that they finna turn on you and you finna go to prison for the most time. The voices that tell you, the energy that leads you into doing the wrong are there when the fallout happens. And what you see right now is a woman who is proving that she's that energy in Will Smith's life. Okay, you did this. Okay, the fallout is here. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just me. I'm chilling. I ain't got no problem with it. He did that. It was him. It's like two kids eating up all the cookies in the cookie jar. You understand? And then they point their finger at each other. Now, one of them going in there getting the cookies, bringing enough for the other one. Both of them eat the cookies, but one of them saying, I ain't going there and getting no cookies. He went and got them cookies. I ain't getting no cookies. Well, you ate some. I ain't know where you got them from. He just bought some cookies. I thought he could get them. I ain't know he couldn't get the cookies. I thought he had asked could he get some cookies. And so, and he just brought the cookies. That's how it is. But think about the effect that has on this man's psyche, man. I'm telling you, man, Will Smith needs psychological help right now. All of this stuff is cracking down on the man. He was already crying when he accepted the award. And he was already crying when he was talking to Gayle King. And he was already crying when he was talking to Oprah Winfrey. And he was already crying when he was on Red Table Talk. And he was already crying whenever he was talking. He was already crying. That man is in a very fragile emotional state, man. Anger only has two results: misguided violence and provocative wordplay. Misguided violence and provocative wordplay. If two people in a relationship and they're in a debate, in an argument, a heated argument, and whenever it turns aggressive, the woman is liably going to give some provocative wordplay, and the man is liable to give some misguided violence. Or sometimes it goes the other way. Sometimes it goes the other way. But those are the only results of anger: misguided violence and provocative wordplay. What do I mean by provocative wordplay? Wordplay that's going to provoke someone into violence. That's going to provoke someone into an overly emotional response, which is probably going to be misguided violence. Anger is the one emotion that men seem to believe is okay. So even if you cross a line, man, I got to do something to you. I ain't going to do it because I'm angry. I'm going to do it because the principle. There's a principle here. You did this. I have to respond this way. I don't have a choice. You forced my hand. You fussed my hand, old chum. So I got to get with you, old boy. And that's just the way it is. Not because I'm angry, but because there's a line that when you cross it, there's a consequence. I believe in consequences and repercussions. Not because I'm angry, but because you know better than to do that. And that's really what the business is, man. The reality of the scenario, man, is this, man. When you're doing things your spirit man doesn't agree with, you're functioning in an illogical, emotional space, or even worse, being a slave to the leadership and guidance of someone who is hell-bent on manipulating you emotionally. See, it's one thing to be a victim of your own emotions, but when someone else's emotion can drive your actions, boy, that's a terrible state to be in. And this is a prime example of that. Here's a situation where a woman's emotion drove this man's actions. He responded based on something that he didn't even feel, that he didn't even think. And look how violently he was able to respond. Think about how her anger led him to misguided violence. Boy, y'all ain't listening to me. Her anger, not his anger. See, my anger may lead me to misguided violence. Her anger led him to misguided violence. Why? Here's why. Because if I'm at the top and I send you out to do something and you get jammed up, as long as I can extricate myself from any attachment to you, guess what? You on your own. Even though I sent out the order, guess what? You stuck. If you can't tie me to it, if they can't tie me to it, guess what? I'm out. You in there. I'm out here living free, man, still living life. Got somebody else in your plate doing my dirt. This is the example of that. Go do my dirt. Bam. Fall back. She fell back. Can't nobody tie it to her. We can tie it to her, but in the real court of public opinion, man, ain't nobody gonna say, man, Jada made Will do that. Because everybody knows when it boils down, Will is a man. Will is a man. She ain't gonna get no real fallout from doing that. Just the court of public opinion, some social media stuff. She ain't gonna get no real fallout. Look at the fallout he getting from the actual action. Then you think he'll go in there and tell them, man, no, y'all can't do this to me, man. Man, Jada made me do that. I did that to protect my wife. Well, guess what? Here's the main issue with what she said. He can't even get the sympathy card played anymore, saying I did this to defend my wife, because she done came out and said that, no, I didn't need him to defend me. So that defense don't even work no more. Man, she like a public defender, man. She the one in that man that just made that man sign a deal. Hey, go and sign that plea deal. They ain't got no evidence on him. They ain't got nothing. She done told him, just sign your name right there, buddy. Just sign. You want to get out, don't you? Go ahead and sign your name right there. Sign it. Okay. Shout out to Mike Epps. I heard Mike Epps say that, man. So when you really think about it, man, you got to keep in mind that here's a woman who has let the world know, I don't care what happened to this dude. As a matter of fact, y'all want to get him? I'm going to help y'all get him. It's like you being the plug and your old lady sleeping around with the next man up. And then she set you up, and then the next man up, his crew kick the door in, and she in there doing a lot of hooping and hollering. She might get hit across the head with a pistol or something. Something might happen to her, but when it all boils down, she about to ride off into the sunset with him. And this whole time, you don't know what's going on. Before, you know what I'm saying? Before the lights go off on you, you sitting looking like, man, just do whatever you want to do to me, man. Just don't hurt my wife, man. Just don't hurt my wife. You know, you with your last breath, you defended her, and she the one that put this whole thing in play. That's the type of thing that's going on right now. She the one to put this whole thing in play. And now when things hit the fan, man, she's stepping all the way back, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I really don't even want to talk about this no more, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to talk about this no more, just to be honest with you, man. Like, this is such a terrible display of womanhood and femininity, man, and loyalty, bro, that, man, I don't even want to talk about this situation no more, to be honest with you, man. You know what I'm saying? So y'all chill on sending me this, man. I'm gonna take a break off this for a minute, man. Unless some super major come up, man, that I can apply some more wisdom, understanding, knowledge to, man, I don't want to talk about this no more, man. You know, this is it just don't make sense, man. It don't make sense for this man to have all this paper, all this fame and notoriety, and ruin it and risk it all for a woman who has repeatedly given him her little scrawny behind to kiss, boy. It don't make no sense, bro. That's why you must practice mental elevation daily, man. You should never be on the same mental level as your woman. If you're on the same mental level as your woman, boy, you've been diminishing mentally, man, for years. You got, as a man, if you practice mental elevation every day, man, then your woman will never be on your level. She'll never be able to catch up. In order for her to catch up, you gotta willingly go down some levels. Practice mental elevation every day, man. You have to. You have to. Another thing is being controlled by propaganda. It renders you incapable of being led by your mind or spirit. You know what I'm saying? So whenever something happens, like, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what she does. Man, Willa just hell bent on doing what a man's supposed to do. I'm going to provide and protect. I'm providing and protect. Even though the woman doesn't deserve it, I'm providing and protect. I'm providing and protect. That's all I'm going to do. My goal is provide and protect. That's all I know. Provide and protect. You provide and protect, and the woman has she's letting you know, I don't appreciate it. It's cool, but you better provide and protect me. You want me to stay, you better provide and protect for me. That's what this man is going through, man. And I just say this, man. When you open your mind to the reality that you deserve to be treated poorly, then you are pretty much saying that you know, you're not a man. You don't respect yourself as a man. See, the problem is a lot of men, y'all been taught since childhood that girls are more important than girls. You know, I tell y'all all the time, you've been taught that girls are sugar and spice and everything nice. And boys are slugs and snares and puppy dog tail. Y'all all kind of thing. Y'all believe that. And as a boy, okay, you believe that. But as a man, you got to get to the point where you realize, man, the significance that you have in the world. You have to realize significance that the men before you have had in the world. You have to realize this. Here's what I want y'all to understand. If women are so entranced by separating men from the power and position and privilege that we have, don't you understand how valuable it is? Don't you understand how valuable you must be in order to have that level of power and prestige and control? Don't you understand how valuable you must be? But you spend your whole life focusing on transferring it to the woman. When you say I do on your wedding day, legal marriage, when you say I do, you are saying I do agree to transfer 50% of whatever power, prestige, and finances I have in this world over to this woman. And I'm going to be honest with you. I just ain't met the woman that's worth that. If you met the woman that's worth that, fine. I ain't met her. And I've met some amazing women, but not that damn amazing. I'm just going to be honest with you. Not that amazing. And, you know, the reality of the scenario is this, man. When you feel like no matter what you have, that a woman completes you, that means that Will value Jada more than his career, more than his money, more than all the friendships and relationships he built in his life, man, to help him get somewhere, more than whatever spiritual beliefs he has, man. He values her more than that. See, my thing is this. If you put all of those things together first, then you're not going to let the wrong woman into your life. You just won't have a woman until the right woman comes along. When you don't come across the right woman, you just won't ever have no woman in your life because you have value before you meet the woman, not just financial value. We can't just keep sitting around here saying that a man's value is his money, because some women got money too. It's some dude that don't want no woman who got money. So we can't just sit around here and say, I mean, there are men out here, man, who do all kind of dirty things to get money, and they super paid. So we can't just say, okay, if you got money, then you have value. No, you don't. If you notice, when we talk about how much somebody worth, we don't ever say they net value. We say they net worth, not their net value. You know, the reality of the scenario is this, brothers. And you know, man, we ain't gonna stay in here too long, man. Y'all ain't gonna hold you too long, but we got a few more things to cover. Here's the thing, man. Let's cover this, and we're gonna take a deep dive on this thing. Suffering every day in a loveless relationship with someone who detests you, it's worse than being in a relationship with someone who you detest. Think about that. Think about the misery of being with someone who you detest. The thing is, if they're catering to you and trying their best to make you like them, make you want them, yes, you're in the driver's seat. You may detest them, but they're doing everything in their power to make this detesting situation a great situation for you, as good as possible. But if they detest you, man, you're in a relationship with somebody that's treating you like crap every single day. This man worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And don't get me wrong, that don't mean that you are above the world and all that, but you above this type of treatment. If you got $100, you're above this type of treatment. As a man, you got to feel like and believe. You got to believe in your brain. You got to feel in your spirit that you're above this type of treatment. That's the only way you're not going to accept it. And that's just the reality of it, man. You look at Will, man. Will is aging, man. Will is aging, man. And you know, when he get himself, you know, dressed up, made up for Hollywood, man, that's a different thing. But when you just see Will regular at home, man, Will look like, man, like he aging, man, 5 years for every year he's alive. Because his life is full of stress, man. His life is full of stress. And here's the thing about living this life where you're being publicly disrespected. See, if you're publicly, I'm not saying let your woman disrespect you behind closed doors, but if you're publicly disrespected, then everything that happens, especially if you're a celebrity, everything that happens has replay value, has resale value. So we won't even talk about the entanglement. Then she bring it up since she brought it up on Red Table Talk. Now August Alsina, he about to come out with a song talking about the entanglement. Then when it dies down, he gonna come back with a tell-all book about the entanglement. Then, you know, it's just one of those things. It keeps coming up. His daughter wrote this letter when she was like 11. This letter just came back up. She in her 20s. If you when you're disrespected publicly like this, everything has replay and resale value. It's gonna keep recycling. There are things that are gonna trigger it. I mean, just throughout your life, there are things that are going to trigger it until you get yourself out of the situation. If Will had left this situation, man, we won't care nothing about that. We won't be having no conversation. We'll be talking about, man, probably some thing Will Smith, man, he'll be out here balling, man, living life, man. Probably have a bad young tender, man, just out here living life, balling. And here's the thing, man. The really sick thing about this is that the majority of men I've heard talk about, I'm talking about in the real world, not content creators. The majority of men I've heard talk about this in the real world say that no matter what their wife had, no matter how their wife treated them, you ain't gonna say nothing about it. Saying, man, that so basically they're saying, man, I'll take all the disrespect in the world from my woman, but I'm still gonna defend her and provide and protect for her. And that's just foolish. You're just a fool if you're gonna do that. But you're gonna look at a woman, man, who don't even earn the provision and protection, and you just gonna give it to her anyway. Where else you gonna go? Where else you gonna go? Where else you gonna? What's somebody gonna give you something you didn't earn? Tell me that. Where you gonna go? If you gonna do it, let's say if you're a mechanic, now you about to swap a motor out for somebody. Let's say they give you half up front, you take the first motor out. You think they're gonna give you the rest of your money before you put that motor in? No, no one does that. Only the beta male simp man Johnny in a relationship with a woman, man, who owns him, does that, lives that kind of life. And it's, man, dog, we deserve better. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all deserve better. I deserve better. You deserve better. We deserve better. I'm talking about all of us. Randy Irvin, appreciate the dime. Tuition, salute, Irv. Johnny B, appreciate the dub. Salute, Doc and the Alpha Sophia. Salute to you, JB. King Wicked, appreciate the 5 bones. I got 2 of them who would do anything to just get a text from me. Yep. Yep. I got one right now, man. I'm talking about, boy, she be moving bricks through her bowels, boy. If she thinks she said something, well, I ain't gonna talk to her for a while. She can't use bathroom, man. Barely be upset. You know what I'm saying? She get the bubblies and all kind of things, man. Stan Howard, appreciate the dime. We'll need to understand that a woman will always pour herself first, no matter how much you beg her and cry. If she wants to go, then there is absolutely nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing, man. And here's the thing, man. When we say these things, we're not saying women are bad. Women are not bad. You just, she's going to seem bad to you if you try to make her be something she's not. If you paint a picture in your head of her being something she's not, yes, she's going to be bad. But if you accept women for who they are, if you accept a woman for who she is, man, then you don't have to worry about ever thinking she's bad. She's not bad. She just is. Same way you ain't gonna never feed your dog cat food, and you ain't gonna never put your dog in a litter box. You know, for your cat, you gotta have a litter box. You know that. That's just the way it is, man. David with a Y. Appreciate the dub. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all listen to Dave, man, and hit the like button, man. See, I got a couple of more, man. LeBron, appreciate the 5 on. You're so right, my brother. Once you get a woman that will do anything to be with you, it's so into you can't cold approach. It's impossible to do, man. It feels super. Man, the thought of it is weird. Captain Defender, brother. Appreciate the dime. Super sticker, man. Appreciate it. So when you think about this, man, you have to keep this in mind. You're already getting closer to death every day. Every day you're a day closer to death. Like if you're gonna die at 100, tomorrow you're gonna be closer to death than you are today. So the one thing you must do is eliminate stress from your life. You must eliminate stress from your life. And if you're living in a situation where you are constantly in such emotional turmoil like Will, that you can't even have a conversation without crying, bro, I ain't never seen a man who every time he talks, he cries. Ever. So that means I've never seen a man in the emotional turmoil that Will Smith is in. I've never seen a man under the type of emotional pressure that Will Smith is under. I've never seen a man dealing with the amount of stress in his daily life that Will Smith is dealing with. Because this dude cries every time he talks. Imagine how much he cries when they're at home behind closed doors. Imagine what the woman must say to him in private. For her to publicly say, he did something, probably finna cost him his career. I don't have his back. I don't have his back. I don't have his back. As a matter of fact, I am against what he did. I am with y'all. He was wrong. He deserves whatever punishment. Man, she's supposed to be in there lobbying with them folks. She's supposed to send them a letter. She's supposed to be going there singing his praises about the great husband he is and about how she just loves him so much. And what would you do if you felt like your wife was being attacked? Or wouldn't you want your husband to defend you? She's supposed to be going in there, man. She's supposed to call an emergency meeting with them people and go in there, man, and stand up for that man since he was defending her. That's what a real woman would do. That's what a good wife would do. That's what a woman who appreciates all the sacrifice and compromise you made to give her the life that she lives. And let's be honest, Jada could not have afforded that life by herself. She was never going to make what Will made. Will made out one movie more than she ever made in her entire acting career. And the appreciation she shows is just let this man go down with the ship. That's rough, brothers. I ain't gonna even lie to you, man. That's rough. That's rough right there. Tony Davis, appreciate the 10 bones, man. Love what you're doing. Big shout out from Nuremberg, Germany. Nuremberg, Germany, man. Salute to you. Salute to you. Got a pretty decent following in Germany, man. I really do. Terrence Lewis, appreciate the dub. Women are about 3 things: survival, attention, competition. That's it, man. And here's another truth. Women are about 3 things: survival, attention, and competition. See, the problem with men, they say this, and they're like, oh, they care about the surviving and attention and competition. Oh. Why be mad about it? Be happy that you know. So you could deal with a woman for who she is. You get the best result when you deal with people for who they are. When you accept people for who they are and deal with them based on that knowledge, you get the best result. You get the absolute best result when you do that. Like with me, a woman get the best result, man, if she give me some shut up and obedience. Don't talk so much. Be quiet sometime. Be quiet most of the time. If I say, hey, y'all to do this, I don't want no question. Why I gotta do that? What that mean? Well, you mind if I ask you why? Yes, I mind if you ask me why. As a matter of fact, don't worry about doing it. Why don't you just go and go home? But I was no, just go tell me about it. Call me on your way home, and we'll talk about it while you're in the car. Brian Griggs, appreciate the dime. We'll need to find that man and him that checked Jada back in the day with that newspaper across her head. Man, listen, we'll need to find is the man that he was before he met Jada. His growth has been stunted. His manhood stopped when he met her. So that's just what he needs to do, man. What he needs to do, man, is just go back to who he was so he can become who he's meant to be. Because I can promise you, this ain't who that man meant to be, man. Man, that man emotionally, man, he's going down. He's going down hard emotionally, brothers. Y'all see it? Y'all see it just like I see it. Here's the thing, man. In order to be happy, you must minimize regret. You must minimize regret. And what's the thing that we regret the most? Time. Wasted time that we can't get back. So at the very moment you're in a situation and you're not getting what you want from that situation, the next moment begins your time wasting. The very next moment. When you sit and say, man, this ain't gonna work. I ain't getting what I want out of this, man. I'm done. If those words come to your brain or come out your mouth, the very next minute, at 1 second of the next minute, your time wasting starts. And there's no greater regret than wasting time. There's no greater regret than not having done the things that you knew you should have done, and now it's too late to do them, and now you're looking back with regret. There's no greater regret than the loss of time. I can guarantee you, every man on his deathbed thinks about time. Oh, man, if I had a little more time, I'd do that. I'd correct that. I'd fix that. If I had a little more time. If only I had a little more time. Greatest commodity you'll ever have in your life is time. And you cannot afford to waste it with a woman who is unappreciative, lacks all type of, man, she shows this guy no affection. She lacks all affection for him, all consideration for him, all thoughtfulness toward him. Like, you cannot waste your time in a situation like that, man. Even at his age now, man, we'll drop Jada, man. I guarantee you, man, we're going to have one of the baddest chicks on the planet. I'm talking about he can have a bad groupie. Man, I'm going to be honest with you. And this real talk. If I wife up a woman, and I ain't talking about legal marriage, but if I wife up a woman, man, she going to be a BOA groupie. The only woman I'm ever put in that position is a BOA groupie. She got to be a BOA groupie. Like, she got to be all day BOA. You understand what I'm saying? She got to be my cheerleader. All day BOA is his way or no way. All day BOA is his way or no way. She got to be a BOA cheerleader. I'm talking about my top. She got to be my number one fan. You see me put a woman in that position in my life, bro? She my number one fan. I'm talking about absolutely nobody can top her. She get mad if somebody say they my number one fan. That's the only woman gonna be in my life, bro. I'm not finna put a woman who's not my number one. She ain't my number one fan, man. My top cheerleader, man. She got to be the biggest BOA groupie ever. The biggest BOA groupie ever is the woman that's meant for BOA. The biggest SJ3 groupie ever is the only woman that's meant to be that close to SJ3. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is, man. She got to be a huge BOA groupie, bro. She got to be. So, the reality of the scenario, man, is I guess if you live with regret, then you start losing your zeal for life. Like when you look at Will, here's a guy who's losing his zest for life, his zeal for life, man. Because there's so much of his life that's a burden that even when he does things that he enjoys for a brief moment, he may have a reprieve from those particular burdens, but then he's right back to those burdens, man. Dog, you got to clear yourself out. You know what we'll need right now, man? We'll need to be a bachelor for about 5 years. That's what he need, man. We'll need to see how it feel. He need to go ahead, do the divorce, lose whatever he's going to lose, do all of that. And then Will needs to, now, for me, I sit down with my lawyer, boy, we come over some tactics. I guarantee you. If it was me, I guarantee you Jada wouldn't get half of my stuff. All the things she's done, I can promise you. I ain't saying she's gonna leave empty-handed. I wouldn't want her to leave empty-handed. Just because if you were fool enough to marry a woman, don't let her leave empty-handed. But what I do, I guarantee she won't get half of my stuff, bro. But what Will needs to do is end that situation, live as a single, rich, successful man for about 5 years. Man, that 5 years may turn into forever. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man, you don't know what being single is until you got a little money to play with. I promise you, you don't. If you haven't been single with a little money to play with, man, you don't know what single is. I promise you, boy, you have no idea what being single is. Being single sucks when you ain't got no money. Man, make you a little paper. Focus on getting your money right and be single, man, for a few years, man, with your money right. After that, you might want to settle down because I'm telling you, it's a hell of a ride, man, if you get money and you single. And you ain't even got to be rich. I tell y'all all the time, the goal for a man is to make 20 bands a month. That's your goal. You may make more than that. There are a bunch of people may make more than that. That's your goal. Your goal for success is at 20 bands a month. Because that's gonna be $240 a year, and you're gonna luck up on another 10 bands if you're making that kind of money. You're gonna luck up on another 10 bands. So that's $250,000 a year. So if you can do that, and if you move your money around right, of course you're going to have to pay your own taxes on that if you're getting it as an entrepreneur. But you move your money around right, you may have to pay 40 bands in taxes. Okay, you still brought home 200. Think about that. So that's your goal, man. You do that, man, as a single man, boy, your life is going to be golden. I can promise you that. Because I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea about me. I don't have nothing to hide. I want the world to see, just like a car, I'll drive you out of your mind. It's always the first step in us having a good time. I'm telling you, man. Single guys, clap your hands. That's it, boy. Man, get you some money, live that single life, man. And that's what Will need to do. Will hadn't done that as a grown man. He was really, really young when he met this woman. So, and he was married before her. So Will went from marriage to marriage. He ain't never been single, and he ain't never been a free man with money. Being a free man with money is different, brothers. I'm telling you, it's a different world. So, and here's the thing, man. Let's not forget that he chased this woman. She didn't want him. He chased her. So when you think about chasing a woman, man, you never get the best version of that woman if you chase her. Because you ain't got to chase nothing that want to be caught. If someone want to be caught, you ain't got to chase it. Think about this. When you see a lion chasing a zebra, that zebra on the run, I don't want to be caught. Oh, he gonna eat me. I don't want to be caught. But when you see that lion run up on a lioness, she don't run. You know what she do? She go down in a submissive position. Now, if you try to take over a pride, there's cubs in that pride, they're gonna fight him because they already know they already finna take them cubs out. But if she just a female lion out there roaming around, man, let me tell you something. Like if she got just went away from her pride, they go out on her own or whatever happened, her pride got this distance from her, she gonna go down in a submissive position. Nothing runs from you that wants to be caught by you. Nothing. If someone want to be caught by you, is running towards you. That's just the reality of it, man. So here's what y'all got to understand. Before we get out of here, man, we're going to cover these 8 principles that keep men from getting caught up like Will. One thing you got to remember. Women are good at getting married, but suck at staying married because they don't want to be married. They want the experience of getting married. The majority of women want to see what it feels like to get married. They want to have the wedding party. They want to have the wedding gown. They want to get the ring put on their finger. They want to hear the dun, 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 dun. They want the little girl to come through throwing flowers. They want the people to throw rice at the end. They want to ride off into the sunset. They want to go have a honeymoon at an exotic location and then want to come back and be single again. That's just the reality of it. That's what the majority of women want. I'm not saying all, but the majority of them do. And when I say majority don't necessarily mean almost all. Majority starts at 51-49, or even less than that, but we'll say 51-49. 51-49, that's where majority starts at. I'm saying the majority of women want the wedding. They want the marriage. They want the experience. They don't want the responsibility that comes after the fun. The wedding planning, walking down the aisle, the reception, all that's the fun part. The honeymoon, that's the fun part. Then you got to come back, you got to get back to work. Got to get to work. And that's the part they don't want. Secondly, you got to think about it. Modern women look down on women who submit. They look down on women who want to be true wives. They look down, they call them pick-me's. You think about that. You take a woman who's good that will make a man proud to have her. They look down on the Proverb 31 virtuous woman as a pick-me. They say if you're a virtuous woman, if you're that woman in Proverbs 31, you're a pick-me. They dog these women. So they call them pick-me because you can't say, ooh, I hate virtuous women. So you got to call them a different name. But that's who they're calling. Those women who are striving to be those virtuous women, they call them pick-me's. Now, the pick-me is the minority, the overwhelming minority. You understand? The women who point the finger at the pick-me's are the overwhelming majority. So 9 times out of 10, a woman you meet looks at a virtuous woman like a pick-me. Third thing. We know that, and I say this all the time, and I'm going to say it again, modern women are lazy lovers and entitled mates. They are lazy lovers. And when you think about physical pleasure, all they think about is what pleases them. All they want to do is be pleased. You understand? And I don't deal with no woman, man, who think I'm finna please her. If a woman coming at me, man, all she got to do is, if she talking to me about, I don't tell no woman what I can do this to you, and I'm gonna do that to you. Oh, I'm gonna do that to you. No, blah, blah, blah. Now, granted, a woman gonna have an amazing experience with me because I like the thrill of the ride. I don't like to get to the end of the ride. You know what I'm saying? I like the thrill of the ride. I like to see, just how many of her joints can be sore after this. Now, I like the thrill of the ride, the thrill of the process. I'm big on processes, so I like the process. So she just that's her enjoyment gonna come from the fact that I like the process, not the fact that I'm trying to, last a while and please her. No, I just like the process. The process is great because at the end of the process, when it's all over, I don't want her around me. You understand what I'm saying? And that's one of the funny things women say. Women always talk about, can you get it back up? Not with you. Not with you. Bring your homegirl in here though. You know what I'm saying? You bring your homegirl in here, I'll be right back. But not with you. I don't want to be with you 2 times back to back. I don't want to be with you like that. And that's the thing, man. But men don't have the wherewithal to say something like that. And here's another thing I tell y'all, man. A woman will want to work a job and make money and still want you to pay all. Man, a woman shouldn't even be cool with her making money and you paying all the bills. But she'll do it. And then if you say, no, shawty, you making that money right there? Okay, you're going to pay this. Matter of fact, you ain't going to pay this. Your money going to come to me. If you tell a woman that, man, she's like, well, no, you're the man. You're supposed to provide. You're supposed to be. Okay, let me tell you what I want you to do. I'm provide your exits. I'm provide your exit strategy. Walk 10 paces that way, then go right. And you'll see this big thing. It's a different color than the wall. There's a handle on it, but it's got a couple little silver things on it. Twist everything to the left and then twist that knob and go out. I just provided you an escape plan. Another thing is this, man. This society rewards women with validation for challenging the traditional relationship structure. So it's not that women aren't good for relationships. They're bad for traditional relationships. If you're a man who wants a traditional relationship with a woman, give it up. It's over. You can't get that in the United States. And there are other places in the world you can't get it. But it's virtually impossible to get that in the United States. Stop searching for a traditional relationship in the United States. Women in the United States do not want the traditional relationship. They don't have to take the traditional relationship because they have opportunity to make their own money. So they don't have to wait for you to provide for them. They don't have to wait for you to give them permission to do anything. If you want a traditional relationship, you better relocate somewhere that still has a traditional patriarchy because America is not that. The West in general is not that. Stop trying it. That's why legal marriage doesn't work. Legal marriage is a prehistoric construct. It's not even, listen, bro, it's not even passe. It is prehistoric. It doesn't work anymore. So legal marriage is stupid because men or women don't want to be that anymore. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a woman who getting money. I'm not finna provide for no woman who getting money. Like, she getting money and I'm just going to pay everything out of my pocket. No. Her money finna come into the house. I'm going to ration out all the money. And if she don't want to do that, that's why we shouldn't cohabitate. See, the whole traditional structure of marriage and relationship is dead. It's dead. And nobody's pushing it but dudes. You got these idiot guys out here pushing traditional marriage. Any man who pushes traditional marriage is an idiot, man. He knows he's an idiot. He may be caught up in it, or he may have been caught up in it, or he may, either way, if you push traditional marriage on non-traditional women in a non-traditional society, you're an idiot. And you're doing more hurt than you're doing help. There is no benefit to it. Now, am I saying a relationship structured like that? Yes, but people have to make the distinction that having a woman with you in the home expecting a traditional marriage doesn't work. That's why the entire construct of marriage should be done away with. And we got to create a new interaction. We have to create a new interaction because it's just logical. If there's no traditional understanding of male-female interaction, you can't develop a traditional relationship on a modern understanding. That's the real problem. We live in a modern society. A woman is not going to give you shut-upness and obedience. Not all the time. She could give it to you when she's around you every now and then, but these women aren't wired to give shut-upness and obedience because they're too... Think about how easy it is to write a soliloquy. You can post a soliloquy on a Facebook post. You can come in a YouTube comment, man, and post a soliloquy. A written soliloquy. You can say whatever you want to say. Give your entire opinion without anybody interrupting you. That's why I make women limit their text. Your text can't be longer than 3 sentences to me. Don't send me no text longer than 3 sentences. And I'm talking about if you say, hey, and put, that's a sentence. What you doing? That's another sentence. You got to limit it to 3 sentences because you're not finna do this whole rundown. So how can you expect a woman to give you shut up in this when she's in the habit of saying what she wants to say all of the time? So you got to understand that for you to get that interaction that we want as alpha men, it's got to be temporary. You can't have that with a woman living with you every day. You simply can't have it. As SJ just said, the world is too chaotic. You know what I'm saying? The world is full of chaos. Like, you think about how 5 things can come out in a day and a woman can run through the gamut of emotions just by those 5 things being posted on Facebook. We're not even talking about real things that happen in her life. She's so emotional volatile that things online trigger her. She can see something online and mess up her whole day. You can't get the traditional relationship out of these women, bro. So let's stop pushing for that. If you're going to deal with women, man, it's got to be in a situation that's conducive to mutual benefit, because a mutually beneficial situation, it motivates that woman to do the things that you want her to do. But even that's going to be temporary, because here's the thing, man. The most exciting time I ever had with a woman, man, is when I ain't seen her in a minute. You know what I'm saying? The overall interaction between a man and woman is going to die. It's going to die a little bit when y'all just around each other every day. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're around somebody every day, man, you're going to have time where you don't want to be around them. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have time when you don't want to be around them. So I just truly believe, man, that the way the world is now, man, that we should stop trying to push for something that's not going to happen and just be what we're going to be. Keep building ourselves into the most alpha version of ourselves, set the parameters and the guidelines in our life for ourselves. And anybody who comes into our life, they got to follow those parameters and guidelines. That's the only way it's going to work. We're not going to get to a point where you're going to be able to just be who you want to be and say what you want to say in my presence. So when you feel like you need to do that, it's time for you to go. You can't live with me and then you get into that space that I can't send you anywhere. No, when you get in that space, it's time for you to go home and go back to your life. If you want to be with me in a capacity greater than that, then you got to prove to me that you can give me shut up and obedience all the time. If you can't do it all the time, let's minimize your exposure to me or my exposure to you, however you want to view it, until those times when you feel like you're ready to give me some shut up and obedience. If that's 1 day, if that's 2 days, if that's 3 days, 3 days max. If that's 1, 2, 3 days, okay. You stay with me for the weekend. I ain't got nothing to do this weekend. You come, chill with me. We kick our feet up, eat some fresh fruit on the Sabbath. Then we do whatever we're going to do on the next day. Then you go home. And I see you maybe next week or the week after that. That's the way it should be, man. So also the dating game has ruined it. Like the excitement of dating is what kills the thrill of traditional relationships. The excitement of going on the first date with someone is amazing, but you lose that when you're in a relationship because there ain't no more first dates. It just become date night. Like date night is cool and it works for some people. There are couples who met the one. You know what I'm saying? There are couples who met that. There are guys who got that groupie. There are men out here who got their groupie in their life. But too many men don't wait on the groupie. Too many men want to chase a woman. The only woman that matters in your life is the woman who's willing to cater to you. And if you have a woman who's not willing to cater to you, then you're with the wrong woman. A la Will Smith. So let's get back into this thing, man. I've got a couple of more here. Now, another thing is this. When the 9 times out of 10 you meet a woman, man, she would rather compete against you and lose than be the star of your winning team. She wants her own winning team. The majority of women want their own winning team. I don't have a problem with a woman wanting her winning team. Go have your winning team. Do what you need to do. Go have your winning team. But a woman who's chasing her winning team, her winning dream, cannot be with me in any capacity other than, hey, I'll see you this weekend. You understand what I'm saying? See, the desires that we have for what kind of woman we would make a wife, that hasn't changed. But the reality and acceptance that we're not going to find that particular woman in this modern society is what we have acclimated ourselves to, is what we have, we have allowed our minds to gravitate to that reality. We understand that woman that you would put in a traditional marriage doesn't exist anymore. So we no longer want traditional marriage. We no longer want to go down to the chapel. We no longer want to go down there, put on a tuxedo and have all them fools around. We don't want no flower. We don't want no rice throne. We don't want no just married on the back of no car. We don't want that no more. We want to let a woman be who she is. And whatever benefit we can get from that in our lives, whatever relationship we can build off that, let's build that. And let's both be satisfied with the fact that we have built the best interaction for us. We're both satisfied with the interaction. We both feel like we benefit from it. And I'm not under any pressure to have to train you into something you're never going to be. And you're not under any pressure to be something you're not. You go be you. I'll accept the true you. What more can a woman ask for? What more can a woman ask for? You want male friends? Okay, you got your own crib. You can have many male friends you want. You can't have no male friends in my house. But since you want to have male friends, go ahead. You got your own space. They ain't coming over here with you, so you go do what you're going to do. Man, here's the thing. Well, man, what if she sleep around, man? What? It don't matter because I ain't finna have unprotected sex with nobody. My wife, my girlfriend, my concubine, man, I'm not finna have unprotected sex with no woman ever unless I want a child. If I'm trying to have a child, that's the only reason that I'm going to have unprotected intimacy with a woman. Man, I'm not finna go into nothing unprotected ever again as long as I live unless I want a child. So I ain't got to worry about what she's doing. She can be doing whatever she wants to do. Whatever she got, I ain't going to get it. You see what I'm saying? And that's just the reality of it, man. So we have to acclimate ourselves to the reality of the world we live in. And Will Smith is a prime example, reminding us that traditional understanding, that traditional relationship, that traditional marriage doesn't work long term. It's always good in the beginning. I like to talk to people that have been married 15, 20 years, though. There are some, and they clicked from the beginning. They clicked from the beginning. They fit into one another's lives. Like the woman fits into his life, and that's it. If a woman fit into your life, you automatically fit into hers. That's just how it goes. So, because the fit is her job. It's your life already. She got to plug into it. If she does that, man, then you can't lose. You're in a win-win situation. But stay off that traditional marriage stuff, man. Boris Watkins. Boris Watkins should have kept that like it was. He should have kept that like it was. Now he put himself in a bad situation. Why? What is he going to benefit from it? He should have left it like it was, man. He ain't getting nothing out of that. So another thing I tell y'all this, man. Social media has blinded most women from seeing the truth of their lives. Because on social media, you can be who you want to be. You can be who you want to be. That's why, man, look, I ain't putting on no airs, man. You understand what I'm saying? Man, listen, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, when I came and did this show, man, I just came from the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? I went to the barbershop, man, got my beard lined up, man. I came straight into the show, man. This is how I be. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, when I need to go somewhere, man, like when I'm at the CME conference, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all going to see how I be away. Like, now, it's going to be different because I'm being the MIA. So, you know, if I was at, but it's summertime regardless. So, but you'll say I be away, get down in the summertime. I'll be honest with you. I'm being Miami. I'm not wearing no whole goddamn suit in Miami, bro. It be hot as hell in Miami. I'm not gonna do that. Miami? Come on, bro. I'm gonna be clean, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be clean. So I just say this, man. Social media has blinded most women from seeing truth of their lives because they can live vicariously through other people. No one lives vicariously through others better than modern women do. Man, they can live vicariously through somebody, man. Listen, a woman who is 300 pounds can live vicariously through a woman who's 122. I'm telling you. So social media just allows a woman to be who she is because here's the thing. A woman can look at herself in the mirror and not like her skin, post a picture of herself, put a filter on it, and look at herself on that filter. Put that picture as that filter as her home screen. Now, when she's looking at herself, she sees that. She sees herself one time in the mirror in the morning, and when she puts all her makeup on, but then throughout the day, she sees herself already made up. So every time she looks at her phone, she's on there with her face made up. And in her mind, that represents her true beauty. That's why you see them now. They always talk about, you know, that's their best self. They can't even remember what they look like for real. I know I add this one. I know I keep adding this one to the show, man, but it's so relevant. It's so very relevant, man. So very relevant. So let's take a listen to this one, man, before we get ready to get out of here. We got to take a listen to this one, man. It's just so relevant, man. I'm gonna play it as long as it's relevant. It's just so relevant, brothers.
Men are pretenders, so I feel like you can cap and lie about, like, you could act like, you know, she the baddest chick you ever dealt with, whatever. But then once you get her, once you smash,
she's not the baddest chick no more.
Exactly.
She takes her makeup off.
Exactly. It's just like
she takes her wig off.
You're not even reaching out to her no more. You're not texting her constantly. You're not double texting her. Like, it's just like, dang, and now she's tripping over you.
She lied to me from the beginning.
Why?
You know why? Because she don't look like she look with her makeup on. She walks in, she takes her wig off. She has a fake butt. She got her shit worked on her stomach. You're not who you are for real.
But shouldn't men accept that though?
Why?
Because you not accepting her for her real self, like
her fake self. I'm not accepting her for her fake self.
That's not her fake self. That's just her best self. And what they say, if he can't accept me at my worst, he don't deserve me at my best. Period. Men are.
So this is the thing, man, that happens in this particular society, man. You see, this is how women think. Not just her. This is how modern women think. They believe that they can be whatever they want to be. That they can just present themselves as somebody they're not. And that's who they can transform into, just be that version of themselves. Say, okay, now that's the real me. That's the real me. Man, listen, I know a chick, man, who had color contacts in her eyes, man. Bro, she used to miss days at work, man, if she forgot to put her color contacts in. Literally. And she used to tell people that was her real eyes. But I knew her. You know what I'm saying? I used to cut her sister, man, so I knew her. And she used to tell people them was her real. Now I ain't lying, man. I mean, she could pass for them. She was mixed. They were mixed with Indian, man. So you could tell. I mean, she could pass for them to be in her real eyes, but they weren't. But she used to tell people they were her real eyes, man. She used to meet dudes and tell them it was her real eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because in a woman's mind, she could be who she want to be, but that's what social media does to them. It has blinded most women from seeing the truth of their lives. So there's no way you can have anything significant with a woman who doesn't even accept her truth. You just can't do it, man. Another thing is this, man. One woman can only satisfy you if you compromise some of the things that are necessary for your satisfaction. I don't just mean sexually. I mean in every way. Sexually, mentally, emotionally, spiritual connection. One woman can only handle all of those things if you compromise some of them. You got to compromise some of them. That's why men get tired of one woman. Because though, see me, listen, man, I can be intimate with one woman, but I can't get all of the femininity that I need from one woman. I can't get it from one woman. Intimacy, yeah, I can do one woman with intimacy. You know what I'm saying? If we got that type of physical connection, yes, I could do one woman physically, intimately. But all the rest of the things, man, like I just can't. I don't want to rely on one woman for all of the feminine energy that I get. I just don't want to. It's boring. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? That's something you do if you got to. You don't do that if you got options, bro. You just don't. But in this society, they tell you, well, so what? If you're a man with options, it makes you a real man to forego those options and have just one woman for everything. Only a real strong man can just forego all of his options and have one woman. You're a weak man if you can't just have one woman. All strong, powerful men, all godly men, all righteous men, all serious men, all men worth having can forego all of their options and have just one woman. Man, it sounds like some bullshit to me. Smell like some too. See, here's the problem in this society. We as men believe that we have to forego the things that we want just in order to impress a society that doesn't give a damn about you anyway. You got to care about yourself. You got to build a life you want. You got to build a life you love. You got to build a life you enjoy. You got to be the man of your dreams because you only got one time to live this life, homie, and you better enjoy every day of it. Now, we put the Most High first in our lives, so we won't just be out here wilding out. There are laws and statutes, commandments that we have to use to govern ourselves. But outside of that, man, you better build a life you want, man. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think there are more men who are legally married who are unhappy, many, many more than there are who are even remotely satisfied with the situation. And so with that knowledge, matter of fact, I don't think that, I know that. So with the knowledge of that, man, why would I ever consider putting myself in that situation? Why would you ever consider putting yourself in that situation? Hey, man, look, I don't think you should. And I advise any man not to. Because self-love is the only love that resonates down to your soul. Besides the love of the Most High. And that's just real. You got to love yourself enough to prioritize yourself over everything and everyone. Because you're the only one you can trust to be there to the end. You were born with yourself. You're going to die with yourself. And that's just the way it is. Sounds cut and dry, may sound a tad bit facetious, but it's the reality of life. Got a couple super chats to get, man, before we slide out of here. Man, I appreciate y'all coming through the joint, man. I might have got all the super chats, man. Okay. Tevin Count, my uncle gave me the same advice, and he a PIMP. That's what it is, man. It's applying ism to the square world, man. We'll need to understand that in his case, he has to lose Jada to win in life. Jada was always competing with Will. Jada wanted Will's fame, money. Well, yeah, you know, I mean, that's just how that is, man. Z, appreciate the 2 bones. Shalom, revelation, destruction of beta energy. It is, man. Absolute destruction. Tony Davis, appreciate the dying. The Most High hates when you give your power to a woman like he's been doing. It's like rottenness to your bones, literally. It is, man. It is. It's rottenness to your bones. The woman like this, she's rottenness to this man's bones, man. I mean, she makes that, she shames that man. She makes him ashamed to have her as his wife. Like this has to make him ashamed to have her as his wife, man. This was a time to get that man some shut uppiness. Not her, though. Tay Finley, appreciate the 15 bone. The sad thing is that a lot of so-called modern men co-sign for this modern woman behavior. They do, man. They co-sign for it. And the thing is, it ain't even about co-signing for it. They don't have to co-sign for it. You just have to accept it for what it is and deal with it accordingly. They want it to be normal. They want it to replace the behavior that we know we deserve as men. in a situation like that. They want you to accept this modern behavior as something that fits into that scenario, but it just doesn't. Alex Perko, please appreciate the dub, bro. Appreciate it. All right, let's get ready to slide out of here, man. SJ3, my brother, salute to you, man. All the brothers who came through, man, with all the major support, man. Green Label Gang, man. I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. We starting to rock out with these joints now, boy. So, man, tomorrow, man, tomorrow's show, we'll do tomorrow's show on Friday because I had to pick my son up tomorrow, man, and we're going to hang out a little bit. So, you know, I just ain't going to be able to make the show, man. My son's still going to be with me, man. We're going to kick it a little bit. So I'll see y'all, man. I got a couple of great pieces of content for y'all tomorrow, though, so I will put some content up tomorrow. But we won't be doing the show tomorrow, man. We'll be back on Friday. So I see y'all then, man. I'll post the show up tomorrow, though, so y'all know what it's about, man. Y'all can go ahead and get your alerts set up and all that, man. Get your notifications set up. Anyway, man, y'all remember, hey, man, I don't care what they say. And no matter where you go, over here in the Alpha Sphere, Alphas up, Betas down. It's the motto. We're going to slide on out of here, man. Peace.
Seems like no matter what you do sometimes, your efforts go underappreciated or unappreciated, period. You know, all we do, man, is try to give men the information they need to become the best version of themselves. No hate. We love women. We don't hate them. We just don't take no foolishness. And we can't be controlled by our lust. Those men can, but not us.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Now, I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her and convince yourself that she brings more value to your life than you bring to hers. You know, just the protection and provision is more than a woman can ever make up for, man. So I'm not saying don't give her props for what she does, but damn sure never make her feel like she's more important to you than you are to her, because it's just a figment of your imagination. She knows the truth, so you have to understand the truth as well. This is called the abundance mindset. There's nothing she can give you that you can't give yourself, besides a baby. And do you really want one of those right now? Nope.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
You see, the main thing that men let women slide with is shut-uppiness and obedience. Now, when you use the term obedience with a woman, she automatically relates that to being a slave. But slaves aren't obedient. Obedience is a choice. Slaves either do it or die. Shut-uppiness is another thing that women have a problem with. It doesn't mean you can't talk. It means that you can't talk when I'm talking. It means that when we're talking about things that I do as the man, you don't have an opinion on those things, because I make decisions based on facts, not opinions, not even my own opinions, and most certainly not yours.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto.